Faizu, you would like to go next?
Yeah, Ashna, I can do that. So yeah, hello everyone. Happy Sunday first. And I'm very happy that our community members have this platform where we can share our stories and most importantly, a safe space with no judgments. With that being said, I'll start my story. The topic I have here is travel or vacation story. Now, I'm not going to share anything that has happened at the destination because, unfortunately, the destination was Goa and it was a bachelor's party. So, whatever happens at Goa stays at Goa. But I have an interesting story that happened during a return train journey to our hometown, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. This could be eye opening for few, but trust me, it's going to be thrilling for all the listeners. So the train just crossed a station called Batkal, that is in Karnataka. And one of my friends was sitting by the window and watching Instagram feed or something in his mobile phone. Um, there will be a lot of people moving inside the train, using the washrooms or going from one coach to another, stuff like that. So similarly, one person like that, he unknowingly or accidentally hit my friend's elbow here. My friend was holding his phone like this. His hand or wrist went out of the window and phone fell off the train. The train was moving like 20 or 30 kilometer per hour speed. And we were like shocked. He didn't know what to do. Unfortunately, the phone is a new phone. He bought it before like 2 or 3 weeks back. And also the price of the phone is like close to 1 lakh. So he was like really disappointed, man, what's going to happen? So we had very short time to decide what to do. And we had to pull the chain, and to stop the train. I know we all were wondering during our childhood, during our train journeys, will the train actually stop if we pull the chain? Trust me, it stopped. And then my friend and myself, we got out of the train. We had to search for the phone in the gravel and stuff. And unfortunately, we were not able to find the phone. The train stopped for a few seconds, so we had to get into the train. No options left. Then after getting into the train, he was literally not crying, but he was in a very, very sad state. You can imagine, right? A phone worth of 1 lakh, it's just 2 or 3 weeks old. So we were continuously calling that number, thinking that a good Samaritan may pick up the phone and say that, your phone is with me, I'm going to send it to you in courier or something like that. We were trying for like half an hour or so, and finally one good person picked the phone. And he was the police officer from the Batkal station. Because we stopped the train, they came to the spot to check if everything is all right or something like that. So finally they picked the phone and they said that, the funniest part there, we are from Tamil Nadu. We speak only Tamil and English. We don't speak Hindi. And that police officer is from Karnataka. He speaks only Kannada. He don't speak English or Hindi. So we had to take help from the co-passengers to see how it works, and they helped us. And we finally arrived at a conclusion that the police officer said the phone is safe with me. You need to get on at the next station, come back to Batkal, pay some fine, get your phone back, and go home. We were like, finally some good news. So we got down to the next station. We took a bus. We went to Batkal, and there's a twist there actually. Yeah. So we went to the Batkal station and we met that police officer. He told us there. He told us that you need to go to the court, meet the magistrate, pay the fine, get your phone. A case has been filed. We were like, oh my God, what's waiting for us now? And so it was already midnight, so we had to take a small hotel, stay there. And the next morning, the police officers were kind and they really helped us with all the procedures and formalities. So we went to the court, met the magistrate. We had to justify why we had to stop the train and stuff. They did not even consider, for a phone, will you stop the train? We had to explain that the phone is so expensive. So we had to stop the train really. And yeah, the fine was just 500 rupees. It was not a big deal. So we paid the fine and we came to the station. We thanked the police officers, and we were able to get the next train, that is by the next day evening. And finally we got home. So I have a few takeaways from this. Like, if you are traveling by train, don't sit by the window. If you're sitting by the window, don't use your phone. If you're using your phone, and unfortunately if something like this happens, if the phone is worth of like 5,000 or 10,000, just leave it. Go continue with your life. But then if the phone is like as expensive as what I mentioned, then I think you have no options left.
V.V. Subramaniam. would like to go next? Yeah.
Oh, for a long time, I was nurturing an idea of visiting Mumbai and Nagpur during Puja holidays, and I made it this year. It was early morning when the train was running from Pune to Mumbai. The pristine beauty of nature is a feast to the eyes. The greenery, the hills, valleys, distant villages, slowly moving as the train making its way around the hills and caves. I heard gangman's whistle. These men are people who makes our journey safe by examining the track every day. The time has come when I stood at Chaitya Bhumi, where Baba Sahib was finally rested. I have no words to express myself about this solemn place. It appears throughout the year, people visit this place to pay respects to a great personality ever born in India. Afterwards, next day, I arrived at Nagpur. It is Ashoka Vijayadashami day, the day on which Emperor Ashoka took refuge in Buddhism and renounced war and violence. It was at this place on Ashoka Vijayadashami day in 1956, Baba Sahib made a history by embracing Buddhism with 5 lakh people. All the lanes, by lanes from railway station, airport, bus stand to Diksha Bhumi, all buzzing with people. It is a sea of humanity making their way to Diksha Bhumi Stupa. People from all walks of life moving side by side, no hurry, no urgency, no scuffle, no stampede, and self-disciplined people solemnly joined to pay their respects to Baba Sahib. Every year on Vijayadashmi day, people gather here. I was surprised how the visitors are increasing year by year. As more than 10 lakh people have gathered here, I could not go inside this stupa. I settled by the side of the road and observing the people who are making their way to the inside the stupa. What is that attracting these people to this place? Baba Sahib is no more. Even then, people are attracted to this place. What is Baba Sahib in their view? How they are influenced by Baba Sahib? Suddenly, a question arose in my mind. Did I understood Baba Sahib? The question baffled me. I hope to get the answer. I have to make more visits to Diksha Bhumi and search the people's mind, read more and more to understand Baba Sahib. So my journey ended with a question. Thank you very much.
That was like really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you.
That was inspiring for us.
Yeah. Next time when we'll be traveling, I think we'll be more mindful of what we are seeking and observing during our travels. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a travel story to Diksha Bhumi as well. And I think I'd like to share that as here. So I visited Diksha Bhumi earlier this year, like towards the very beginning. And it was a really nice experience, but also like how the journey began was very strange. So I worked at this like creative tech company, and we used to create like interactive experiences for people. So suddenly like we had Star Sports as our client, and they needed to do this kabaddi promotion thing in like different cities. So I created like a 3D VR experience for that. And I was supposed to sort of like help people follow along, or like if there are any technical difficulties, just be there. So essentially like we had 3 locations in Maharashtra. It was Mumbai, Nagpur and Kolhapur. So I was based off in Mumbai at that time, but I really wanted to visit Nagpur and I just needed a reason to. But somehow my office had allocated me like Kolhapur instead of Nagpur. So I was a bit bummed up about it. But then I sort of talked to the other guy, talked to the manager, talked to everyone and made Nagpur happen. So what ended up happening was like I took the overnight flight there. I landed at around 1 a.m. in the night. And then like the people who were setting everything up, they just called me. They didn't even need to do that, but they called me. And essentially like I was up all night after after working the entire day the previous day. I was super exhausted, but I just could not sleep anymore. So I started to walk. And the first place that I wanted to visit in Nagpur was Diksha Bhumi. So I think it was a Sunday. Yeah, it was a Saturday or a Sunday. And like it's very early, it's around 5 in the morning. I start walking and I end up going there thinking that I'd probably be the only one who's like here this early on. And I hear there are like Buddhist chants happening, and I slowly walk to the place where the sound is emanating from, and I see like there are a bunch of people, like families with children, elderly, everyone just gathered around and like chanting those Buddhist slogans. It was it was a magical moment for me at that point of time, and like all my tiredness, all my exhaustion from the previous day and everything, it just vanished in a moment. And I think that unity, that sense of community and belonging is something that we long, and having that, it's a really soothing experience.
Thank you. That was such a great story. And I think the thing that you said about that sense of community, I think great way to end this session, because that's what we are trying to build.